over. Nketiah, good running. He pulls it across off the line. And it's a corner. Flips one over, Nketiah, good running, he pulls it across off the line, and it's a corner.
Well, in life, there's always a scapegoat. But in sports, but particularly more in football, there is always a scapegoat every weekend. The past weekend, the scapegoats are United and Chelsea. Both teams were beaten blue, black, and center. On this note, you are welcome to the best of the best sports show anywhere in the world. Well, I'm a proud United fan, but the weekend was so black. So also for the two guys with me here who also support Chelsea.
Direct down.
These two guys.
Direct down.
I just said that also opposite Chelsea supporter. We had a very boring and a black weekend. For Arsenal, for Barcelona, Madrid, Liverpool, and also City, it was a
for the big boys.
Very beautiful weekend. On that note, you're welcome to the program. My name is Farouk and Daytola. I've got my guys here in the studio. I'll start from the winners because I don't want to start with these two guys. That's a very poor.
Make sure no spoil.
Show them love now.
Well, I'm good. It was good to see you once
again. How was your weekend?
Good to see everyone. My weekend, did I go anywhere? I'm not a party person anyway, so I prefer staying at home, you know. As a 30+ man, some things just leave you behind. So I will just the house, you know, just watch my ball, enjoy myself, take some nice drink, and you get so. But I was able to watch Chelsea. I was able to watch Arsenal's game, and I think both teams, they really need to maybe leave the league because it's becoming more embarrassing.
Talking about embarrassment, there's a club that understand what it takes to be embarrassed. In fact, the number of signings they have made is more than the number of points they have amassed this season. This is why you know it.
Oh, obviously, you know I'm not good. That's why we're black. Our money.
You never relegate. You become relegated.
But I'm not going to lie. It was a very bad weekend.
It showed when you entered into you were sweating like a Christmas.
Wait, I'm sure you consider the fact that these people came to Stamford Bridge. I just walked away with 3 points, like, knowing what we were doing. Nah, it was terrible. But let's not dive into that.
Let me come to my favorite guy, Roy, who is never king. He go soon learn. You know, you won 3 goals to nothing against Luton. You were like, wow, 3 goals, clean sheets, 3 points. Now a team that was beaten by United, by Arsenal. How did you conspire to lose against Nottingham Forest?
Okay, so it was a black Saturday actually.
Yeah.
You know, so it was very terrible. I didn't expect to feel that way, but it is what it is.
It is what it is.
Yeah, it is.
So it was what it was.
But it's match day 4.
Yeah.
I understand. So I don't want to give up yet, you know. But if they continue with this trend, I bet we will not make top 10. You understand? Because we were so woeful. Very, very woeful. I don't understand what Pochettino is doing at the moment. Like 4 matches is enough for you to show your blueprint,
of course,
or your where you are headed.
Well, let's save this analysis for the main deal. IBK. Let me roll this ball to you and let's roll. All right, let's start with United against Arsenal. That has to be the biggest game, you know, in the world for the last 48 hours or thereabouts. And we have to be sincere with ourselves. Arsenal showed that no matter who you are playing with, would never, move away from our own style of play. Philosophy was there. I think that showed that this is what we wanted to do from the word go and impress United back. United had moments, but as a big club, United should be. I don't think that's the way that United should be approaching that game. What do you think worked well for Arsenal in that match?
I think for Arteta, you can see that since he has come into the club, they have this their build-up play is very beautiful to watch. You can see it in all of the goals. Martinelli set up for Odegaard's goal. You can see the Vieira pass to Irebesis and all of that. So these well-knit passes that they put together. Someone said something when I came into the studio and he said, look, it's the ball. The ball always be faster than, as long as the person who is giving the pass, the right rate of pass, right direction, all you have to do is just play according to that instruction. Get those passes together, get the ball into space. You have very pacey wingers in Saka, Martinelli. There's Nketiah is always running and pushing the back line. There's Odegaard who has the vision and all of that. So, all in all, it was a good job from them at the end of the day.
Well, still on United and Arsenal's game.
Yeah.
Ten Hag has spent a lot of money, over 8 players as brought from last season. And there's still no pattern of play, especially from the midfield. And as a big team, the most important element beyond your goalkeeper defense has to be your midfield. The more you take the ball, retain the ball, and use the ball well in the midfield, you will define what you will do going forward. That was absolutely missing against United, against Arsenal.
Arsenal, yeah.
How long? If it was Forest, it was Luton, it was Birmingham, whoever, you can always deal with that. But when you're playing against a proper team that's well structured, like Arsenal, you won't suffer. And that's exactly what United did against Arsenal.
I think football now is more of your demands from players.
Yeah.
And to be honest, I think Ten Hag has not been able to have a whole control of the whole backroom, or let me say the team itself.
Yeah.
The entirety of the team, it seems he's lost it, you know. It was first Ronaldo, then Sancho came in with a statement some days ago, and you want to ask yourself, what is the real cause of this? Now, we made mention of Pep Guardiola and how he tries to overhaul a team before coming in. You still have people like Rashford, you have Martial, these are guys that were there when the teams were poor, you know. So there's this sort of mentality that no matter the coach that comes in, number one, they feel that they are united in and out. They feel that whatever they want to do, they can get it done. But the fact is that when you see players, when they don't play as passionate as they're supposed to play, then it becomes a problem. A game like Arsenal versus Man United, I expect to see explosive play from Man United, you know, end-to-end stuff. But and again, if you want to come in with a game plan, maybe a counter-attack system, which I don't think is bad. There are players who can easily execute that for you. Do you get, like someone said yesterday, Anthony had no business starting that game.
Absolutely.
Anthony, I feel that Garnacho should have started because the system is counter system. You need to have very pacey guys up front who, when you send the ball to them, before you know it, they're already in the opposition box. You get, so these are the things that are very important. And I always say that coaches, whenever they sign a player, they always want to, you know, make people believe that this is the player. You get, this is the player. This guy is meant for this team. And you kept playing Anthony. Anthony, how many take-ons did he make, you know, against Arsenal? He was just all over the place, trying to dribble, he didn't really make any final pass or make anything in the final third. You get, these are the issues. And I feel that United, if they continue this way, if there is no proper overhauling, I think it will still continue. You know, when you still have players who I feel that their desire to play is not as important as what it should be, then it becomes. But you send those players out. Look at Man City. You see players that will naturally start for Man United, and they're on the bench.
Absolutely.
I can mention 5 players that don't even start for City that will easily start for Man United, and they still did not cause any problem. So I feel that the system itself needs to be worked on.
All right,
that's the way you can see.
Let me come over to you, Roy, before we make it a day as far as United issue is concerned. He mentioned Sancho, the little rift between him and the coach. Almost after the match, you know, he gave his statement about what the coach said about him in the first place, because he was completely missing from the match day squad line. And Sancho, I don't think he has covered himself in glory at United, but you want to question a coach who continuously and constantly plays an Anthony who has not delivered the good. But we all know the track record of what Sancho could be when it was at Dortmund, England, even when it was at a City under Pep Guardiola. His attitude towards training is zero. But do United need this post-up early this season, just like they had when Mourinho, Ten Hag and Ronaldo went edge.
You know, the truth is, like I said earlier, you cannot fight your employer.
Yeah.
All right. As far as Man U team is concerned, Eric Ten Hag is the boss.
Yeah.
And as a boss, there is this level of commitment you want from your subordinates. As long as you are not seeing it, you will not field that person. And in the game of football, you want to see commitment, all right, in training, in attitude, on and off the pitch, and all of that. This is Sancho's second season or third season.
Fourth season.
Fourth season. If
he played under Ole.
You understand? Exactly. You know, so but what has been his start? He has not been so perfect. I was in. He was. Yeah, it's not convincing. He was not the. He's not the. What's it called? Sancho of Dortmund. You know that made Man U shell out over 80-something million for him. You know, so he has been playing poorly. I think it has everything to do with his psychological state of mind. However, giving out a statement was, as far as I'm concerned, was absolutely wrong. All right, there are better ways of handling issues like that. Ronaldo told that way with his class and everything. He was shown the exit door. And the way it is going, if Sancho doesn't take time, he will be shown the exit door. That's the truth. You cannot find two captains in the same team.
Of course. Let's not, make it a United thing.
What's if he's doing it to be shown the door?
Let's not make it a United thing.
What if he wants to?
Let's not make it a United thing because Arsenal did a very good job and I failed to give them their roses.
Okay.
I think we should just do that for the next 1 minute. What should Arsenal continue to do from this match? Just 1 minute.
Well, we were saying it before we came to this. I said the fact that a lot of people have still not accepted that Arsenal are now on some level.
Absolutely.
I think the acceptation will make people, the realization will make people, easily play Arsenal. People have this mentality that is Arsenal. Let's just go, we'll beat them or we'll do something. This is a different team entirely. You look at the department of the squad. I think the only thing I can say, the only department I have issues with in the Arsenal squad, no, is the defensive aspect. Okay. To be honest, I feel that their defense is shaky. I feel they don't have a top-class goalkeeper compared to Man City, and that's why when you want to compete, when you want to compete against Man City,
is not good enough.
I feel Ramsdale is not that top goalkeeper. That's why I said that personality is very important in football. You might not be as good as what people think you are, but your personality will do a lot of it to make you go far, especially in football. But Arteta came into us now. I remember they sacked Unai Emery, they sacked, I think it was Unai Emery and some other coaches like that. And he came in as if it wasn't going to happen. But he has been able to impact his knowledge in the team, and you can see how hungry you get passionate the players are. So if they continue like this, to be honest, I think it might not be this season, but definitely very soon they will win the Premier League.
All right, thank you very much, IBK, for that. Analysis as far as Arsenal is concerned. Well, for Arsenal, honestly, you guys, had a very good weekend. I think that it can continue in this state and also watch more what you're doing from the bench, because bench won Arsenal the match over the weekend. I think Arsenal will be fine, just like we were last season. Just what they need is a little bit of experience and also that courage to see games out. All right, moving on. Let's talk about City against Fulham. I don't think there's no big deal about this match because it's City doing what City does all the time. Let me come to you, Izu. I had an argument with you, I think back 2 weeks ago, saying that no matter who you bring into City, it is plug and play. Once you don't change Pep Guardiola, I still feel that team will be fine. It will be very, very difficult for anybody to play against City, even if he's on the bench or not on the bench. Now that he wasn't on the bench for the last 2 games, he seems to have played their best football. City, 5 goals, 3 points, hat-trick for the big man himself, no problem.
It's like you said earlier, it's City being City. There's nothing they do right now that would necessarily shock anybody.
Absolutely.
They had a very shaky start to the season.
They always, most times.
And they have perfect 12.
Exactly, and it seems like things are starting to pick up for them gradually. But the point I want to make is, a couple of weeks back when we had this City conversation, I remember telling you that Haaland as a striker, I think he said something earlier. He said this whole 9 touches in the box, that doesn't really matter. As long as you're doing your job, which is when you get the chance to score the goal. I was telling you that Haaland needs to start making different runs for different players. And I'm sure if you see the goal that got him his hat-trick, it was very different. He didn't necessarily wait for the ball to come exactly to where it was. He had to like move and meet the ball. That's exactly what I want to keep seeing from him. And if he keeps doing that, Haaland is Haaland. He's a goal scoring machine. He will definitely get the goals. You get, but all in all, it's just Pep being Pep. I'm not surprised that he crashed.
Okay, is the league over?
Well, I think normally Pep doesn't really start the league, on firing.
But
I
12 out
feel
of 12.
that's what I'm saying. That one thing about Pep, if he wants to win the league, there's always a winning streak.
Yeah.
Go and check it. There's always a long winning streak.
15, 12, 15.
18, I think he did 18. No, not 20. I think 18 or 19 has been the highest. You get, so now that he's starting the league with winning streak, I think there's a problem.
It's a problem.
There's a problem. But I still feel that not the perfect City. I feel that there's something De Bruyne will always bring to the table. No matter how formidable they are, no matter how much you call their, Etihad the fortress for them, I feel there are teams that can still, make them shake. But the fact is, it's not even about City now. The question is, can other teams, or are other teams ready to actually compete against City? I think yes, Arsenal. I feel Arsenal, they have the qualities, but I always say that the depth is the most important thing when it comes to marathon like the league. Our quality is the depth of Arsenal team. We are taking in Partey, you are bringing in Declan Rice, you are taking in Martinelli, you are bringing in Trossard. You are taking in Saka, no one comes in for him. But you look at the number 9, you are taking out Nketiah, you are bringing in Gabriel Jesus. So in the end, what quality does the team have? That's what you should ask first. And how well can it go? Because if you don't have the squad depth, you might enjoy, that moment till like February. Don't forget that February, March are the demanding time of the season. You will be playing knockout game in the Champions League. You will be playing the FA Cup, and other things will be coming in as well. So how well can you manage the squad?
Yeah.
And that was what happened to Arsenal last season. They could have easily won the league, but they burnt out, and that's it. Saka couldn't do what he was doing at the start of the season. All of them started getting tired. So I think for me, the only team that can easily compete this season once again is Arsenal. Let's just hope that the guys will be firing till the end of the season.
You agree, Roy?
Absolutely, I agree.
How about Chelsea? We had a conversation that Chelsea will be fine, but if Chelsea continue,
Is it complete?
Yes, compete. Can just
Is
compete.
it relegation relegation battle?
I remember saying that Chelsea wasn't back.
Okay. I remember last week I said it seems last week I said it seems Chelsea is back, right?
But
right now I need to be honest. No, I really need to be honest. From what they played last week, I think I will agree with Izu that we are not back. Like we are not back. There is nothing to show that we are going to compete.
All right, so
you can't compete against Man City.
No, we can't.
Well,
competing against Man City.
I'm so happy.
But you have the depth now. You have squad depth.
See, we have the players, but the thing is,
you have depth of
quality of depth.
You have depth of Afrobeat artists. All of them don't do dread.
That's more about Chelsea.
We have talent.
But we are coming to Chelsea. We are coming to Chelsea.
Don't worry.
But in the end, like I said, if you're a Chelsea fan or fans, lower your expectation. That was the first thing I said right here on the first show we had in this studio. Lower your expectation. That's it. That's about Chelsea. About City and Fulham. Now let's go straight to Chelsea versus Nottingham Forest. From one very impressive team to a very not so impressive team, Chelsea. And we have to just critically look at what Chelsea is going through right about now. We felt last season was over, but now again, 4 points from 12 is poor by Chelsea standard. And I come to you, IBK. Poch understands the league very well. He has lived virtually all of his life in England, in London, Southampton when he first coached. But having this kind of problem, and I was very particular that Chelsea have got players, but there are still parts that are still trying to fit together. And I still feel he does not understand his first 11. But this loss at home to Forest is another big low point for a team that is trying to orchestrate themselves back into the top reckoning in England.
Well, I think first thing first, like I always see, Chelsea's structure is based on injured players. And you need to ask yourself, who are the people doing the recruitment? Don't they really know it? How, that's why clubs like Liverpool, clubs like Man City, they know track record of players. They don't just go out to sign players. They know that this guy has been injured 3 times in the last 2 years. They know Roy has been injured 5 times in the last 7 years. They know Izo has been injured 100 times in the last 1 year. You get, and in the end, you ask yourself. Now you mentioned backbones that Now you look at Nkuku that are expected to be part of what the setup is now.
Yeah.
The captain of the side is James. I can't even remember, but I know that there are about 5 players who normally play for Chelsea, but they are injured. So who are the people doing this recruitment? How are they, scouting this type of players?
What about the medical team? I want to question that.
Well, you won't really question their medical team, because in the end, I think it's still based on the player's body itself. Well, you might say we've seen some players that they'll be injured in one team. By the time they go to another club, they'll start getting fit.
Yeah.
But it's a different ball game for Chelsea, and it's so sad that when you are a coach and the players you want to rely on are not available, it becomes a problem. You start experimenting. Okay, let me try Manogasto here. Let me see if Sterling can do what Reece James would do. Let me see who can. Imagine they had Joao Felix. Because of Nkuku, they had to let Joao Felix go. So that number 8 position just behind the striker is a problem. Nkuku had over 70-something assists for RB Leipzig.
Yeah.
That's to show you his impact in that team. So I don't really want to blame the coach, to be honest. I feel that it's more like an experiment. Had it been it was during the preseason, all these things are happening, players getting injured and all, you would have found a way around it. But it happened just when the season started, and it's more like he's trying to see which player can fit into this position and which one will not fit in. But I feel that Pochettino is a very experienced coach. I don't think it's going to be that bad for him. Okay. Just a matter of time. He will get back on track.
All right, let's talk about the goal against Chelsea. It looks so poor for me, honestly. I think that Chelsea didn't defend well. They were too fragile at the defense. And the last man on Elanga actually gave him too much of a room to operate. And like we have known, Chelsea have always been very suspect at the back. What exactly should the focus of the defense be like? Because most of those players at the defense are new guys. Don't with those days when you have Terry, Ivanovic, Abayu. These are brutal guys that will take you to the butcher if you want to prove as skillful to them. But Chelsea don't have players like that. They have more like fragile players that want to sing, that want to rap, other than play football.
I'm not going to see a series of mistakes led to the goal.
Yeah.
There's part Caicedo played in it. Mm-hmm. There's the part Gallagher played in it. There's Thiago Silva's part that I think he needs to be benched. Thiago Silva. We'll come back to that. There's Koyo not charging or lunging in for that last tackle when Elanga exposed the ball a bit so much in that position. And you look at those things and you're like, what exactly do these people do on the training ground week in, week out? And I'm not going to lie to you. IBK said he doesn't blame Poch. I blame him. Mm-hmm. I know it's too early to say Poch out or start saying you want change in management and all of that. But I feel like, yes, we have injury problems. Nobody can deny that. We want Reece James to be fit. He's not fit. We want Nkunku to be fit. He's not fit. There are other players that we feel like they should be playing. I wish Chukwuemeka was around. He's not fit to play at that point in time. But bar these players, the players that we have on the bench and the players that we have available right now, is he really maximizing those players? Because Nottingham Forest came to Stamford Bridge and we fielded only 2 attackers, Jackson and Sterling. What exactly was the mindset behind that startup? Chilwell has been very poor doing whatever it is he was doing on that wing. But it's just, say, a couple of good crosses in the first half, and that was it. He switched off up until the very end. Why is Martin not getting a chance? You begin to question choices like this. You had a system that worked in the preseason. Mm-hmm. Even haters, people who are not Chelsea fans were saying these guys will cause problem when the league starts.
Nkunku was built around that system.
That's what I was saying. And let me take that question back to Roy, because he was so particular about Chelsea's preseason. That was what I was saying. Chelsea are back. And if you go by preseason, which I would never do in my own life, I've been watching football for a long time. I would never base a season based on what I saw in preseason. He did that, but now we are, facing reality, right? And the earlier Chelsea, wake up from this slumber, the better it is. Because the more you stay in that rut, the worse it becomes. Just like last season.
Okay, so like IBK stated, you understand, you cannot rule out preseason. Preseason is a period where you do your muscle by
exactly. So
you experiment. You understand? So he experimented during preseason and it worked for him. You understand? The Martin, the Angelo, the Casade, these guys were hungry for the ball. They wanted to play for the team. You saw their cohesion. You saw
what happened now?
That is why Pochettino has that question to
That's
answer.
why I'm telling that.
So it is not. No. For me, what I think that happened was that Pochettino didn't believe in these young stars. You understand? And he acquired the likes of Disasi, who is a disaster.
Every big team will play all of that.
For me, I don't see
this. Went to America with over 17. Arsenal the same team.
This is it. All right. Okay. The goal we considered. For me, Caicedo is not working for us as a 4 for now. I don't know when he's going to fit in. He's having challenges with adaptation.
But Caicedo has always, I always say that Caicedo is a box-to-box midfielder.
Exactly.
Even at Brighton, when he's advancing, there's someone who covers up. So he's still more like Caicedo is not. Although you can't see a DM that will probably be in his position all through 90 minutes anymore. That doesn't happen again.
Exactly.
So as much as, how well do you trust the Chelsea defense? If you don't trust it enough, then you need to have a standing 4 who, even if the team is transiting, the 4 will still want to guide the back line.
This is the problem I have with Caicedo. All right, I took time to watch him the last match. His passes are poor. His control are terrible. You understand? I'm serious. His control within that.
I do not agree with
but there's Lavia now.
In the first half,
Lavia is still injured.
In the first half of that game, say Bar Enzo is like our best player. Caicedo had a very good first half. Let's not deny that.
I was praising him on
exactly.
Twitter.
I made a tweet about it. He had a very good first half. Absolutely. Even during the preseason where it seemed like they wanted to try the whole Gallagher and Enzo pivot. See, when Gallagher is the midfielder and is advancing, Enzo would sit at the base of the midfield and wait. When Enzo advances, they were shuffling it.
Yeah.
Now, saying that Caicedo is not the forward that way, first of all, when the season was about to start, we knew we needed the first phase DM. Somebody who we can give the ball to and trust that he will not lose the ball. Or when Caicedo is doing that, and I'm faulting him for that, no doubt.
Exactly.
The goal came from a mistake that he made. No doubt about that. But saying he's not exactly what we need. Even if we had signed Declan Rice, if you sign Rodri, look at the top DMs in the world. You need to give them the ball. The football has gone beyond the point of give him and then he will load it inside. If during preseason, you see this pendulum football that we're playing, tap from the right, go to the left, from the left, tap it back. And now in our main season, we're always attacking from the right. It's like that's the only wing that works.
Oh yeah, that's it.
I said it last week. That
left because wing, of Rhys James.
That left wing,
not just
Sterling. Where did Sterling play last season? Sterling played on the left.
On the left.
That's what I'm saying.
The left wing is not existing.
Because
we're having played now. During the preseason, they were giving Jackson forward passes that he would chase into space. We have not seen, apart from times where Enzo decides that okay, you're seeing enough.
That's what I'm saying. There wasn't Cuckoo then. That's what I'm telling you. That. See,
hold
on. Okay. So what are you trying to say now is that because certain players are injured, and that is why Chelsea have bought quite a lot of players.
Now this is it.
Do you have to wait for those players to come back before we see that pre-season form?
There's a reason pre-season is very important to managers in the world. Now, remember when Ten Hag had issues with Ronaldo, and he said that he feels that Ronaldo struggled when he first started. If you remember, the goals weren't coming, and the guy had to tell Ronaldo that he thinks he is not fit enough. Out of respect, that guy, you're not fit enough. Just try and you come into the game gradually. When a lot of managers build their season, with the preseason they have. Exactly. That's why you have a whole month to run preseason.
Yeah.
They travel, they leave their comfort zone, they travel to the US, they travel to Japan, anywhere to play preseason. Now, Christopher Nkunku is someone that is very intelligent on the ball. I remember when I was part of who that always criticized Mason Mount, because as a midfielder, you need to be able to understand runs of attackers. It's very important. You can't tell me you are a midfielder and you can't even make one defense-splitting passes. It doesn't work that way. Someone like Jackson, like he said in the preseason, Jackson runs into space a lot. I don't know why he has changed during the season, because now he tracks back, gets involved.
You guys are going back to what I'm saying.
I'm not saying
no,
the system has changed.
Farouk, excuse me.
Spurs
Let me
needs
just
to
say something.
Spurs needs to decide if Jackson is going to be a ball carrier for our team, or we end up in places where he can take his chance and score.
Jackson should just wait there for the ball.
Let me make this point.
But I feel he doesn't
When
to make that choice.
Kopama came in.
Yeah.
Our game changed when Kopama came in. You understand? You could see a bit of creativity within that midfield. You understand? This is what we are lacking. We don't have a 10. Chelsea do not have a 10, so there is no link-up play. You will see Caicedo will have the ball, they pass to Enzo will take to Sterling.
The current system doesn't even support it.
They'll bring it back to Enzo will send back to So any coach will easily Chelsea out.
That's what you see when Chelsea are playing frustration. And I just pick that word out of my mouth. You can see the way Roy is parrying. Izu is not, Izu will always analyze and break it down for you. But the truth has to be said. Chelsea needs to find that balance and right.
If they will, it's Pochettino.
Of course, I don't know if it's Pochettino.
How many weeks is Nkunku out? I think it's
3 months. 3 months until January or so.
Well, if
you're serious?
If you're a serious club and you're waiting for a player to come back from a season, from an injury, for you to start.
What about Rich James?
Then I don't think that club has any business. I don't think
it has always been like that, on and off.
I don't think that club has any business playing football. If you're waiting for 1 or 2 players to get back into full shape, if you continue, I'm very sure will not leave this issue as far as talking Nottingham Forest and Chelsea is concerned. But give credit to our own boy, talking about Taiwo Awoniyi, who has continuously in 8 games back-to-back contributed to scoring for Nottingham Forest. In this score, he assisted the goal that led to the winning goal scored by Anthony Elanga. Another credit to Manchester United fans.